you all, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Chethana, your Sergeant at Arms, and I welcome you all to our meeting. We all know that words are more powerful than swords, so I request you all to please be careful while speaking on any topic. Turn on your cameras so that we are all encouraged, and please stay on mute unless you need to speak. Keep encouraging all our rule takers and speakers whenever needed. One hydrogen, one oxygen, and one more hydrogen bonded together form a water molecule. A small part of that small part of a water molecule. A water droplet is very small. However, when lots of water droplets are united together, they form beautiful water bodies, oceans, seas, and lakes. I'm pretty sure you all heard this public service announcement whenever you pick up and try to call someone. We all unitedly stand against the COVID-19 disease, and please stay vaccinated, etc., etc. We all did stand against COVID, and we are fighting for it, fighting for all of us for a better India, and we're creating a new India. Alone, we can only achieve very little. When we unite, we can achieve greater. Now let us all unite and welcome 3 new members to our BTMC family who will be inducted by our VP membership, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranore. Over to you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Chethana. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I'm very delighted to introduce the new members of our club. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct new members into the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion both for all the new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership. And we now have an opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve. I will now call our new members forward: Toastmaster Vijay Sai, Toastmaster Kunal Mehta, and Toastmaster Dev Bhosle. Toastmaster Vijay Sai, Toastmaster Kunal Mehta, and Toastmaster Dev Bhosle, you are joining a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people learn to communicate more effectively. As the member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become a part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and employment. Madam Vice President Education, have these new members been given an opportunity to discuss their needs and goals with the club? Have they been told how the Toastmasters program works and informed of many benefits they will receive, as well as the obligation of membership? VP Education, Hannah. On behalf of VP Education, I would request Mr. President to confirm.
Hi, Priyanka. Sorry, I just reached home. Sorry.
Yes, Mr. President, do you confirm? Let me repeat.
Yes. I confirm. Actually, our VP also here. She also confirms. Right, Hannah?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would request our VP Education, may you let us know who have been assigned as the mentors for these new members?
Yes, sure, Priyanka. Toastmaster Kunal is Dr. DTM Rajdeep Manwani, and Toastmaster Vijay Sai is again DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani, and the third is Dev, Toastmaster Dev. He's been assigned to Toastmaster Alan Arana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manmani, and Toastmaster Alan Arana. As experienced Toastmasters, you have been asked to help these new members get off to a good start. Do you accept this responsibility and pledge to share your knowledge and experience with our new members so that they can immediately begin to benefit from the Toastmasters membership?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yet it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently towards your own self-development, evaluate others' speeches in a spirit of support and sharing, assist the club in reaching its goal, remain positive, and keep a smile on your face. We ask you, our new members, to dedicate yourself to personal growth, to share this great gift with your fellow members, and to help keep the Toastmasters Club strong and dynamic. I would request Toastmaster Vijay, Toastmaster Kunal Mehta, and Toastmaster Dev Bosley to please stand and put your hand forward. Toastmaster Kunal, maybe you can sit because I can't see your face. Yeah, you can sit. Or probably you all can sit and just put your hand forward. In the yes. In the presence of my million fellow members of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the project outlined in the Toastmasters education program, to participate actively in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationship with my fellow members, and to bring other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters. I would request all three of you to just give your affirmation by saying yes.
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 Thank you. And now I request all our club members to please put your hands ahead as a pledge. We, the members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to prove you with positive, helpful evaluation, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters membership rewarding and fulfilling experience. Thank you, Toastmasters. And yes, now we come to the end of our induction program. Thank you so much. And welcome all of you. Welcome Toastmaster Vijay, Kunal Mehta, and Toastmaster Dev Bosley into our Bangalore Toastmasters Club fraternity. Over to you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Priyanka.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyanka, and I once again welcome all our 3 new Toastmasters to our BTMC family. When I asked this person about the theme, he told me, yes, we have created happiness for ourselves. I asked him how. He told me, I and my friends always had the best time whenever we get together. Every weekend, we used to meet up and play cricket, have a lot of fun, and pull each other's legs and create happiness. And that's how we always created happiness. And he says this, and even now, he is united all of us, moving our hearts with the great way he's leading all of us. And he's none other than our very charming president, Srijit Kilakilo. Over to you, President.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Chethana, for that heartwarming introduction. And I personally, or I welcome all the new members. It is really happy to have you with Bangalore Toastmasters family. My dear fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. And I declare the meeting number 1291 opened. Now I request our Associate Secretary Toastmaster Vishal to read out the minutes of previous meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. The previous meeting number 1290, started off on time with Toastmaster Chethana taking charge, followed by our President, Toastmaster Srijit. Taking us through the meeting was the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vinay Venkatraman. The first speaker, Toastmaster Aaron, who gave us a new word, Toast Mentors. Then came Toastmaster Melvin, being an amazing mentor himself, explained to us the importance of mentoring. The third speaker, Toastmaster Robinson, explained to us the different leadership styles. Then came the table topic session, which was made very interesting by Toastmaster Mahavir. The evaluation session, as always, was a great learning experience. The general evaluator, Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan, with his Taggle team, gave a wonderful evaluation of the entire session. We had an attendance of 42, of which 36 were members. The awardees of the previous session were Toastmaster Manikandan for Best Taggle Team Player, the Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan for Role Taker, Toastmaster Vijay Anand for Table Topic Speaker, and Toastmaster Melvin Smith for the Best Speaker. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for that crisp and clear minutes of meeting. Dear members, are the minutes in order?
Actually, sir, Mr. President, Robinson sir spoke about the different styles of communication, not leadership.
Okay, fine, noted. Thank you. So with that note, I declare the minutes stand pass. When 5,000 years ago, someone created a wheel, he wouldn't have imagined that it would be useful for mankind forever. All right. It is true that whenever mankind face problems or challenges, his curious mind tried to overcome those challenges and resulted in many revolutionary inventions. I have grown up through some of the greatest inventions in this century. My father worked in Gulf countries for some time, and when we write a mail to him or when we send a letter to him, it would take approximately 15 to 20 days to reach there. Now, in a wink of an eye, we can communicate to anyone, isn't it?
Yes.
Then when I came to Bangalore to study, the communication became much more faster through telephone. Still, I remember I used to wait till night 9 o'clock to make one STD call to home. Today, my 4-year-old daughter can make a video call to me without anyone's help. Yes, this latest technology or latest inventions are really helping us to connect faster and connect together. My mother is a retired school teacher, and she was using an ordinary normal mobile, and she never thought of upgrading it. However, last year during the COVID and lockdown time, she had huge pressure from others to get a smartphone. She had her own apprehensions to it, but still I got her a smartphone and I taught her how to use it, how to save number, how to make a call, how to receive a call. And slowly I taught her how to use WhatsApp and Facebook. In the beginning, she couldn't understand the concept because I told her, now father is your friend on Facebook. She responded, he's my husband, right? But now she's at ease of using smartphones and the apps like WhatsApp and Facebook. Recently, she recorded her own video saying birthday wishes to her sister-in-law and sent it through WhatsApp. And she could connect to many of her old friends, like school friends, college friends, and colleagues through WhatsApp and Facebook. My parents are really enjoying these moments with smartphone by connecting to their family members, their friends, and their loved ones. More than they feel happy, I feel content to see them. They are enjoying these moments and getting occupied with it. Because always I had this guilty feeling in me when my parents are growing older and when they needed me the most, I am not there around them. I am not there around them. However, I am using these technologies or these inventions to overcome those challenges. Regularly calling them or making a video call just to make sure that I am connected with them. So these technologies are really helping me to connect with my family, even though they are staying away from me. Though Toastmaster is not a technology, but it was created to involve people, to evolve them to become a better speaker, better listener, better thinker, and better leader. And I believe like the creation of wheels, even Toastmaster will be serving the humankind forever. With that note, I would like to introduce you a person coming to this virtual screen, who is a budding Toastmaster. She completed one path in record time, and she is on her way to complete her second path. Very determined Toastmaster, and she is an avid reader, and also she played basketball in her school days, and she loved that sport. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Nazneen Begum.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for that kind words. Good evening, Toastmasters and esteemed guests. The theme to create is to unite is on Invention Day. We at Bangalore Toastmasters Club celebrate important days in the world. Remember, Independence Day, we celebrated on August 13th. So, what if Inventors Day is on the 272nd day of 2021? That is 29th of September 2021. We at BTMC are celebrating it on the 267th day of this year. That is 24th September. There are only 98 days left in this year. As the name suggests, Inventors Day is a day to celebrate the contributions of all the geniuses and the contributions making us really learn and lead an easier life. A special day to thank some greats for their courage to think beyond their times to give us the life that we are leading today. On a lighter note, do you know what this is? You can unmute and say.
Apple.
Yes,
Kashmiri
it
apple.
is an apple. How many of us as students thought, why did this apple have to fall on Newton's head? Why couldn't that whole tree fall on his head? I'm sure all of us would have thought. Jokes apart, thank you, Sir Isaac Newton. We got to know that gravity exists on planet Earth. No matter what, definitely these laws that Newton actually defined and derived are actually related to Toastmasters. Remember, just see, whatever I speak, whoever speaks, we applaud. So his law, which states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, don't we applaud? Yes, we do. So definitely, Toastmasters and Sir Isaac Newton are somehow related, definitely united. Toastmasters was started by Ralph C. Smedley, and the first meeting was held on October 22nd, 1924 at Chethana, California. The organization serves over 3,64,000 members and in 145 countries with more than 16,200 clubs all over the world. The purpose of the Toastmasters is to promote communication, public speaking, and leadership. Basically, in a Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 segments. That is, the first segment is the prepared speech segment. The second being table topics. The third being evaluation segment. I would now like to introduce a person, the founder of our club, who is a mentor to one and all. If you need to know anything about Toastmasters, he's the Wikipedia of Toastmasters. As my fellow Toastmasters rightly said, his kindness and humbleness personified. Let's welcome the general evaluator for the day, Sir Robinson D'Souza, on this virtual stage with his Saddle team. Can we have a round of applause, please? The stage is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Nasreen, for those wonderful words. Am I audible now? Yeah. Am I audible? Someone
Yes,
raise a
Yes,
hand.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
We-
Yes, sir.
At the moment, we have 39 members, 39 participants, and we have 3 new members, Vijay Sai, Kunal Mehta, and Mr. Dave Bosle. Have you attended the new members who were just inducted to our club? Have you attended the Toastmaster meeting earlier?
Yes, sir. I have attended the meeting 3 times before as a guest.
Okay.
I was
What
at
about
multiple times, sir.
then Mr. Bosle?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you attended. So all of you know the role of general evaluator. Thank you for lessening my work. Yes, I'll be watching the meeting. I have been watching the meeting right from the beginning and continue to do so. And my job is not find mistakes, but to help you, hold your hands, and help you to fulfill the purpose for which you are joined. In this general evaluation session, I am assisted by individual evaluators. There are going to be 4 speakers who will be evaluated by individual members. And then there is a tag L team. They comprise of 1 time manager. May I request Mr. Rajendra, time manager, please unmute yourself and let us know your role as time manager.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. We, the Toastmasters, have united online to create yet another wonderful meeting on today. So as a time we are going to create this meeting in the next 1 hour, 45 minutes or so. So it's a time frame. So I will be the timekeeper for today's meeting. So I will be notifying the members by changing my virtual background. So for all the prepared speeches today, the time duration is of 5 to 7 minutes. So I will be changing my background to green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, red at 7th minute. For table topics, the time limit is 1 minute 30 seconds. I'll be changing my background to green at 1 minute. At 1 minute 30 seconds, it will be red. For speech evaluations, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll be showing green card at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minute 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rajendra, for that crisp and correct explanation of a rule. Thank you very much. Well prepared. Now, the next member of the tackle team is the accounter, Mr. Jaina.
Yeah. So my role for today will be to note down all the usage of clutch words and repeated words. Very often speakers use unknowingly words such as so, but, you know, you see in their speech. And I will be noting down for each speaker the number of times they use such clutch words. And I will also note down repeated words. That is, if they are saying a word and repeat it again, just for clarity. And I will present my report for each speaker at the end of the meeting to the general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jaina. Excellent explanation. The third member of the tag team is Mr. Alan Arana, grammarian.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator. As the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will make note of any misusage of the English language as well as outstanding usage. As the grammarian, it is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is audacious, which means showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. An example of using the word is, the grammarian of the day urges all of you to be audacious enough to use the word of the day in their speeches. I will present my report when called upon by the General Evaluator again. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. You must have kept Mr. Jainam busy with 3 hours before you started your first word. Yes, we have Sanjana here as a listener. May I request Sanjana to explain to us what your role is as a listener?
Listening is not about just being quiet. It's about being present. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Being a good listener is as important as being a good speaker. So as a listener today, I'll be noting down some important tidbits from any of the speaker, and then at the end of the meeting, I'll be asking questions to see that everyone were paying attention to the meeting. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sanjana. Excellent introduction of your role. I think this is the first time you're taking up a role in the tag team. All the best to you. Over to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator of the Day, with the Taggle team. Let's give them a big round of applause. All participants are audacious. Without further delay, let's start the prepared speech session. The first evaluator says he can't say no to anything and believes that unless you give a new narrative, you can't find followers. He loves Bangalore Toastmasters Club as it attracts diverse membership. It is none other than Toastmaster Richard D'Souza. Kindly, sir, read the guidelines for the first speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Richard D'Souza.
Thanks, Madam Nazneen, for that beautiful introduction of mine. Now, the purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to Madam Toastmaster, please.
Thank you, General Evaluator 1, Richard D'Souza. The first speaker is keen to learn and believes only when many people unite and clear the path, we can actually unite. The speech title is My First Overseas Trip, Toastmaster Saideepak. The virtual stage is all yours. Can we have a round of applause?
Thank you, TM. So I hope I'm visible as well as audible.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It was a cold night. I was super sleepy and nervous. I was in a long queue. It was 2:30 a.m. in the morning after all, and I had a tiring flight. After a prolonged wait, my visa on arrival got approved. And finally, we were all set for our first overseas trip to Thailand. Good evening, my dear Toastmasters. Today, let me take you all through the adventures of my first overseas trip. I was just married and I had about 14 days of leave. So we decided we'll go to two countries, first Nepal and then Thailand. But my first trip to Nepal felt more like UP Bihar rather than overseas. So we then went to Thailand as planned. I know I should have gone there while I was still single, but Destiny had other plans for me. So bachelors, please do take note of that. So my Thailand journey started off with Pattaya. I was surprised to see such cleanliness. I was more used to plastic covers floating around my feet while standing at the shore. There are no beer bottles or any other trash thrown around, in spite of this being one of the biggest party towns in the world. So we first went for an activity called sea walking. So we were given a helmet-like thing through which we could breathe in oxygen, and we were transported 40 to 50 feet below the sea, and we had to just walk on the seabed. So the initial few minutes, I had a terrible headache due to the extreme pressure at the seabed. After a few minutes, it gradually cleared off after I started breathing in a particular way as suggested by the instructor. So what I was seeing was quite amazing. There are all types of fishes floating around me, and there are so many different types of aquatic life around me. We could also touch some of the coral over there. It was super calm and peaceful down there. I would any day prefer it to scuba diving, as in this case, we had to just walk on the seabed. So the following evening, we went to Walking Street. The scene was quite wild. There was loud music and so many people drinking and dancing like crazy. I had never witnessed such nightlife before. It was like I had walked into an open party. So the next day, we flew to Krabi. So I had booked a beach house over there. But the moment we set our eyes upon the place, it was quite astounding. It was like a large forest, and there was a small hut near in the middle of the forest. Now this hut was just a few meters away from the beach. It was like the stuff fantasies were made of. So the moment we came out of our hut, we could feel the grainy sand at our feet. And we had so many cats for company. I felt like this was the best stay of my life. But I was proven wrong the very next day when we went to a place called Kanchanburi, So to just reach that place, we had to drive around to the river bank and then call the hotel. The hotel then sent us a boat on which we had to travel for 30 more minutes. But finally, when we reached the place, it was quite stunning. It was like a large wooden boat right in the middle of the river. Now, this place did not have any electricity, and they had used lanterns for lighting up the place. So we were allotted a room there. Our room was warm and cozy with a bedroom and an attached bathroom. But when we went to the balcony of our room and we put our legs down, we could feel the river waves grazing our feet. The view was quite unbelievable, especially in the nighttime. There are mountains on all the four sides and the magnificent and clean river Kwai flowing in between. I had never seen such exquisite natural beauty before. We slept to the sound of the river waves and woke up to the same. This was by far the best stay I had ever had in my life. These were some of the memorable experiences that I had on my first overseas trip to Thailand. I would like to conclude by saying that Thailand is truly the place where fantasy comes to life. Thank you.
Can we have a round of applause for the first speaker, Deepak? Deepak, no one told you before going for a honeymoon, you could have had your bachelor's party at Thailand, not a honeymoon. Thank you so much. The next evaluator, what can I say? He makes a conscious effort to address only those situations that are in his control and not worry about situations that are not in his control, as it makes his life less complicated. He believes to create might not always be to unite, but to unite, we can definitely create. He is none other than Toastmaster Abhirama. Can we have Toastmaster Abhirama on the virtual stage? Is yours. Kindly read the guidelines for the speaker. Can we have a big round of applause for this evaluator?
Thank you very much, Nazneen, for that introduction. A very good evening to all my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. The speaker is attempting project 3 from level 1 of presentation mastery pathway, that is researching and presenting. The purpose of the project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. Speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker, and back to you, Toastmaster Nazi.
Thank you so much, Abhirama. The next speaker is known as the human encyclopedia by his family and friends. He says, we are a drop, but together we can become an ocean. Toastmaster Prathik Uthappa, the title of his speech, The Big Squeeze. The virtual stage is all yours. Can we have a round of applause, please?
Mic and video check.
Yes, fine.
Recently, there was an incident in Kerala where a pregnant elephant got killed as it was fed with a pineapple laced with explosive. The elephant was in such great pain that she died standing in a river. Whenever I visit my natives nowadays, I need not go to the reserve forest to see the elephants because they are right in our backyards. Their trumpeting sounds keeps us awake all night. My cousins, they avoid visiting those areas after nightfall, as one of them had a near-death experience with a tusker recently. They spent sleepless nights trying to chase the rampaging elephants away from their estates. This got me thinking, Why do elephants come out of their natural habitat? Also, elephants are the most conflict-prone wildlife species in India. They cause large-scale damage to life and property. Annually, around 500 lives and 100 elephants get killed due to conflict-related incidents. 5 lakh farmers are impacted due to the crop damage. As per the 2017 elephant census conducted in India, we have around 27,000 wild Asian elephants. The elephants are nomadic by nature and they migrate seasonally in search of water, food, and breeding grounds. As roads connect two cities, Elephant Corridor connects two vast areas of forest, which allows the elephants to move around freely without being disturbed by humans. As per the Wildlife Trust of India, we have 101 elephant corridors identified today. Among them, the Saigur Elephant Corridor is a prominent one, as it connects the Western Ghats with the Eastern Ghat, and it facilitates the movement of around 6,300 elephants annually, connecting Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. But today, these elephant corridors are shrinking, and few are closed due to encroachment. And this has resulted in the jumbos coming in close contact with human and human settlement. And on the other side, the reserve forests are also degraded due to vast areas under teak cultivation and the invasive species like lantanas growing in the thicket. Neither teak or lantana are fodder for the elephants, and hence the elephants have migrated to the nearby coffee estates, where it changes their food, and also they get attracted to the easily available fruits and a lot of shades, plenty of water and cooler ambience, so much so that they have made these estates their permanent abode. Government has been consulting with various stakeholders, locals and NGOs, and been striving hard to find a long-term solution to address this issue. Among them, in the year 1992, the Project Elephant was launched by the Ministry of Environment and Forest to provide financial and technical assistance for the wildlife management by the states. The aim of the project was to ensure the long-term retention of the elephants in their natural habitat by protecting them, their habitat, and the elephant corridors. The project has been successful as it has resulted in a considerable increase in the elephant population in the last few years. Also, in the year 2017, first time elephant sighting was reported in 6 Indian states where it was never seen before. Efforts are also made to protect the elephant corridors, which involves procurement of land from the landholders, resettlement of the tribals, and handing the land back to the forest department. Vehicular traffic through the elephant corridors are restricted today. And that's the reason we cannot drive through Bandipur and Nagrole after 6 p.m. Environmentalists and locals have been voicing their concern against mega projects like roads, railways, and dams, which can cause irreplaceable damage to the ecosystem. Government is also imparting training and sharing awareness to the locals who live within the vicinity of the forest so that they can coexist with the wild animals as they are the most impacted. Crop insurance and compensations are being encouraged to the affected. Crops like sugarcane, paddy are being restricted near the elephant corridors. Efforts are also being made to regenerate the forest back to its natural self. Today, we all have to pledge to protect our forest for our next generation and also for those who cannot speak for themselves. To conclude, I would quote the immortal words of Bertrand Russell, who said, "It's coexistence or no existence." Back to you, TM.
Thank you so much for the speech and the insight on elephants, Mr. Encyclopedia. Can we have a round of applause, please?
Thank you.
The next evaluator needs no introduction. He is a wizard with words. Humor runs in his blood, and winning has become a habit. DTM Dr. Rajdeep Banwan. Can we have a big round of applause for the evaluator, please? The speaker is presenting her level 1, project 2, first speech, evaluation and feedback. Timer note, the speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose statement for the speaker is, the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. The speaker believes that Bangalore Toastmasters Club is unity in diversity. She is none other than Toastmaster Chethana. Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Chethana, please? The title of her speech is Thinking Unpopular Thinking. Over to you, Chethana.
Thank you. Thank you, Nazni. Do you believe it is possible to read more than 5 to 6 books in a month? But where is the time to be a voracious reader, especially in this distracting lifestyle? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Smartphone with too many social media apps. WhatsApp, Facebook, Clubhouse, Instagram, oh, what not. By the time we come back from our reading purpose, we lose our patience to read books because books are not entertaining as social media do. Yes, both inquisitive and self-appreciation nature of humans keep more engaged with social media than books. So I decided to de-addict from social media with extensive research. And after an appreciable amount of unpopular thinking, came up with the idea of consuming audiobooks, which helped me to de-addict from social media. Yes, unpopular thinking is not easy and it is not automatic. It is very difficult, but change unpopular thinking is worth the investment because more gold has been mined from the thoughts of man by changing our thinking. We will be investing in ourselves. Gold mines tap out But human mind, the ability to think well, is like a diamond mine that never runs out. Yes, we need to find out a way by choosing unpopular thinking. Where can we engage ourselves in an ongoing process? We need to question the acceptance of popular thinking also. As we know, popular thinking is sometimes not thinking at all. Good thinking is hard. We have to expose ourselves to good inputs. The popular method to do this is by reading books, review trade magazines, and spend time with good thinkers. But with the help of information and technology, that is ICT tools, there is a new way of reading books that's both conventional and affordable for the busy bookworms. After ebook like Kindle, we are blessed with audiobooks. Our lifestyle, for this lifestyle. Nowadays, I listen to the audiobooks quite often. I start my day with some positive and motivating audiobooks. My recent audiobooks are Promised Land by US President Barack Obama, narrated by Obama himself, where he narrates the odyssey of personal and political journey. Then I listened to James Clear's book Atomic Habits, which help us to make huge changes in our life with small alteration in our routine. The author, James Clear, himself narrated this book. Yes, we can listen to the audiobooks while traveling also. Yes, I listen to audiobooks irrespective of mode of transportation. When I'm in the kitchen, I tune to the audiobooks. Many audiobooks I listened repeatedly. Audiobooks have boosted more energy and motivation. I became more productive and effective. I effectively had more hours in the day because I spent less time on social media and focused more on work. Audiobooks helped me in improving my understanding and vocabulary. It also improves our listening skills also and makes listening sharper. Yes, according to the research conducted at California University, listening audiobooks activates the brain network specialized for auditory processing, while reading book activates the network involved in visual processing. Research also shows that the sleeping brain is far from idle and some form of listening happens while you are enjoying your sleep. So I suggest you all to switch to unpopular thinking. Going on a long trip, you can download audiobooks in your mobile and you can listen to your book wherever, whenever you want. You can listen to someone else reading while you do other activities and enjoy the story. You need not to pack big bulk books for the trip. Just store them in a memory card. We can easily take along. Yes, more books than we might actually read. If we get bored with one book, we can switch to another. It is very convenient. But my unpopular thinking is now becoming popular thinking. As I have observed that most of my generation has shifted their loyalty from ebook to audiobooks. Thanks to audiobooks, good thinking is hard. To become a good thinker, start preparing the possibility of becoming unpopular thinker. Thank you. Over to TOD.
Thank you so much, Chethana. I agree with you that a book carried in your pocket definitely is like a garden being carried. And definitely it stimulates your mind, and your brain is definitely a gym, and you can exercise your muscles. Can we have a round of applause for Chethana, please? The next evaluator is, you will be bewildered to know that he is a champion, but he's very humble. He is a wizard with words. And today, he was audacious enough to step in for as an evaluator as we had a crisis. It is none other than Toastmaster Vaidyanathan. Can we have Toastmaster Vaidyanathan on the virtual screen, please? Can we have a round of applause?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The speaker is attempting project from the Pathways Manual, which is a level 1 project of project 2, the project 2 from the level 1 path. And the purpose statement being the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And the member is also supposed to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. So all the very best to the speaker, and over to TOD.
Thank you so much, evaluator. You will be bewildered to know that our next speaker is short-tempered. Looks are deceptive. She believes that the VPE of our club unites the club members. Kudos to you, VPE Hannah Victoria. The lady who articulates words and a presentation for the minutes of the meeting are idiosyncratic, meaning unique, outstanding. Toastmaster Preethi Varghese, the stage is all yours. Can we have a round of applause for Preethi Varghese? And her speech title is The Mentors. Over to you, Preethi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nazni. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear friends. I still remember my initial days of Toastmaster. How eager I was to join this fraternity of stalwarts. Joining the club, honing my speaking skills, and gaining confidence. That was my goal. Nothing more, nothing less. I was never a good student, and here I was unwillingly handed over a course along with a mentor who did not fit my criteria. I always preferred seasoned Toastmasters or experienced people who could handle the less gifted people like me. I was always fascinated by Abdul Kalamji's stories, especially the one where his mentor Satish Dhawan took blame for his failed project and did wonders by conferring the credit when it was due. In short, that was my expectation from my mentor too. I was to give my first speech in the year 2020 on the first Friday. Thursday evening, I shared the speech with my mentor, and Friday came the stark reply. I think I did not make myself clear to you. This being your icebreaker, you were supposed to share this speech 1 week ahead for me to review and for you to practice. This is good, but needs some tweaking. You may either choose to go ahead with the speech or push the date ahead. This was my Satish Dhawan, who, instead of taking the blame, asked me to inform the Vice President Education to push the date of my speech. Who will bell the cat? Somehow I mustered courage and informed my Vice President Education of the postponement of my speech. He was clearly disappointed in me and asked, do you understand the value of canceling a slot in the last minute? it costs a speaker's one slot in this huge club where they're waiting for months together to get that slot. I felt guilty. He took out time to educate me on the value of sticking to the slots. First lesson learned: be disciplined and share your speech beforehand with your mentor. I wrote the speech, sent, rewrote, sent, rewrote, and finally, my mentor felt the dots have fallen in place. And I could see the transformation of my lame speech into a meaningful story. It was not only the transformation of my speech, he also guided me on how to use the stage on the day while narrating my icebreaker speech. Thankfully, he had the patience of a seasoned Toastmaster, and I did not fall into trouble. He is very approachable and intellectually motivating. He helped me understand the purpose of the speech and guided me how to take it ahead. Then pandemic happened. He chose to discontinue. Thankfully, to my relief, even though he discontinued, while I approached him, he supported me. And parallelly, officially, I got to choose a seasoned Toastmaster. This way, I have 2 mentors now. My seasoned Toastmaster is more of a counselor for me. Her positive energy is so infectious that anybody can get energetic within minutes in her company. She obliged to be my mentor and guided me. Her knack of helping me face my fear of table topics was applaudable. To sum up my journey, I can say a mentor is the one who, through his or her guidance, can change the learning path of his protege. It is their patience, experience, and knowledge that creates magic. A mentor is the one who knows, who finds more ability and talent in you than yourself and brings out the best in you. So said Bob Proctor. We as protege should have an open mind to receive their perspectives. They trust their opinions on us. They guide us with right choices. It's up to us to take it up or not. Nonetheless, I feel my mentors learned a lesson or two. Why? Because a mentee like me comes with a rare set of challenges that can sharpen your mentor abilities. Indiscipline, impatience, a bucket list of doubts, you name it and I have it. In short, it's not a one-way road, it's a 2 ways. While a mentor guides the mentee, he or she learns a lesson or 2 from them. To sum it up, I can say a mentor is not the one who can take the blame for your indiscipline or write speeches for you. Instead, he's the one or she's the one who will listen and train you to face the challenges while weaving a safety net for you to fall back on. He will light your path, but the walking is left up to the protege. Over to you, Toastmaster Nasri.
Thank you so much for that speech, Preethi. I agree with you that that was the leadership style that Dr. Abdul Kalam Kalam had within himself. When failures occurred, he always saw the person taking the blame on himself or herself. Thank you so much for that speech and igniting the leadership qualities that a person can look into. A great personality. Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for the speaker, please? As we come to an end of the prepared speeches, the link for the voting has been shared at the WhatsApp group, BTMC, that's Bangalore Toastmaster, and the code is 1291. I repeat, the code is 1291. kindly vote for the best speaker. Due to paucity of time, we'll move ahead. Do you know what this is? If you can just look up and say. Somebody can just unmute.
A bulb. It's a bulb.
Bulb. Yes, this is a bulb. It was invented by the most prolific inventors of his times. He created the world's first industrial research laboratory, known as Wizard of Menlo Park. Are we done with the voting? Yes? Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Moving on. The Toastmaster, Table Topics Master, is also very good in mimicry. He thinks that unity is must if anyone wishes to rewrite history, but we must be certain at every juncture if it is solving the purpose. And this has been the story. He says, the sheer joy of being in the club is what has been driving him to join being in this club. And the club is over 20 years plus. His name is none other than Toastmaster Karunakar Dev. Can we have a round of applause for the table topic master, please?
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Toastmaster Nazneen. Good evening, everyone. As the table topic master, I'm giving a new term for table topic, TT. It is going to be known as Terror Triumph. And to tell you more about our meeting, in today's meeting, the table topics are restricted to 1.5 minutes. So please be mindful of taking pause and using your appropriate time. Okay, are you all excited for table topics?
Yes.
I heard only one voice.
Yes, yes.
Voilà.
Yes, plus, plus.
Lovely. So the first topic I'm going to give is to a new member, that is Vijay Sai. Vijay, please be prepared. Your timing is 1.5 minutes. And your topic is, what gets you excited about life? What gets you excited about life?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening, Vijay.
Good evening, Karunakar Dev and Mr. President and all the others. What gets you excited about life?
Right.
Each day, life is completely new. I don't know when I get up in the morning how my life is going to pan. But everything about life gets me excited because I view it through a new lens. My new lens is always of gratitude, positivity, counting blessings, looking every day for opportunities to grow, for opportunities to all the time keep expanding my consciousness. So every moment, wherever I look, I see new things. I see new enthusiasm. I see new energy. When I look at a tree which is full of, probably even in a Vasanta Rutu, I keep seeing the few things that are still there. When I walk through the garden, I look at those beautiful flowers and I feel excited about it. I think the little things of life, gifts of life, is what keeps me excited. So there was a particular song, What a Wonderful World, when I don't remember the name of the singer, and that's what excites me, because wherever I see wonderful world. Just like I see all of you today, I see wonder in your eyes. I see that I can expand myself. Life is love invited forever. And thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
So lovely. Vijay conquered triumph with so ease. You definitely are a DTM material. Okay, moving on to the DTM, whom we have in our meeting today. The topic is for DTM Sumitra Manmohan. And the topic is, the most delightful surprise in life is to suddenly recognize your own worth. The most delightful surprise in life is to suddenly recognize your own worth. Madam Sumitra Manmohan.
Thank you, Karnakar, for that wonderful topic.
Right.
The most wonderful thing of life is to suddenly recognize your worth. I think Toastmasters is perhaps the best platform because here, through our evaluation, our mentoring, our very presence in the meetings, you don't realize the impact that you bring on people. And it's with everyone appreciating you and remarking that, sometimes they think of, remember what you've said. And that is what makes me feel realize my worth. And I do things spontaneously without expecting that they'll show gratitude or anything. And when it is expected, without, suddenly somewhere, and especially sometimes even my trainees, I bump into them in some places. Like once I was in the library and one of those girls came up to me and wished me. And I said, not bad, you remember me. And she, said to me, ma'am, how can we forget you? You impact us so much. You give us so much value. So that is what makes my life so wonderful and realize my worth, because it is there without my knowledge, and when people recognize it. Yes, it's back to our table topic master.
Lovely. Thank you so much, DTM Sumitra Manmohan. Okay, the next speaker is again a new member whom we have here. Do we have Kunal Mehta around? We have him. Okay. Kunal, your topic is, when you meet someone for the first time, what do you want them to think about you? When you meet someone for the first time, what do you want them to think about you? Kunal Mehta.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. Thank you so much, all fellow Toastmasters. When I meet someone, what do I want them to think about me? Well, I want them to know that they get who they see, and that I am genuine. I also want them not to have any preconceived notions about me. I want them to see me and then interact and then see for themselves if they think, I am a worthy person to maintain a relationship with. I do not want them to judge me or have any sort of idea about me or I don't want the people who see me for the first time to be influenced by someone who's already seen me or have an opinion about me. In short, I want to meet somebody and have a heart-to-heart conversation and then take it forward from there. All I would want is for them to understand me to some extent. They might not agree with me. That is absolutely fine. I might not agree with them. Our opinions, our life, our background might be completely different, but we can agree to disagree. And that, friends, is what I want. Thank you.
Lovely. Hoping all the Toastmasters in the meeting is taking note of how to sort of meet him in the physical meeting when you get to see Kunal. Okay, so far, great utilization of time by every speaker, well within the time. The next speaker is Lokesh. And Lokesh, I am giving you a very easy topic this evening. You have to treat me separately for this. What makes a friendship successful? What makes a friendship successful, Lokesh?
Thank you very much to Mr. Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters, and the esteemed guest. One of the very basis of friendship is the trust, the openness between people. When we are able to trust someone, we are able to open our heart to other people. We are able to share our joys, our pain, our sorrows. And another factor that is very important in the trust is the integrity. In the friendship is the integrity. If a person does not have integrity, you cannot trust a person, and that friendship will fall away. So integrity, character, being truthful, being honest, being open, these are some of the things which are extremely important in a friendship. And the friendship that lasts for the lifetimes are the friendships which has, I say, as integrity and care together. When things come from the heart and there's a truthfulness, there's honesty, the combination of these two together is an excellent foundation for a good friendship. Over to you, Topics Master.
Great. Lokesh, integrity, trust, and all these factors were actually a part of my resume as well, which has got me a new job. So, okay, over to the next speaker. And this speaker is Dave Bhonsle. You share a name with me, so I'm giving you the easiest of topic this evening. Dave Bhonsle, your topic is, how do you define happiness and how to attain it? How do you define happiness and how to attain it?
Thank you, sir. Happiness is the most common sentence that ever comes to every mind when we hear happiness. Happiness is just a state of mind. We can find happiness in every moment of our life. Might it be, except from the sadness, keeping that apart, the happiness when we go out for any reason, we find a puppy on the road, we take it, and we just, happiness is the thing we discover. Life brings happiness to us in many ways, and we have to discover where we can find happiness in every moment of our life. Thank you, sir. That's it.
Great, insightful thought. Okay, moving to the next one. And I have Toastmaster Arun Kamath, who's going to be the next speaker. Your topic: life tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Life tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Arun Kamath.
Thank you, Karnakar. Very relevant topic. We live through the everyday hustle and bustle sometimes without realizing some of the important things. They say wealth is important, but you realize that health is way more important only on the day you don't have it. And there is this meter that I saw online. When you are young, you have time, but nobody wants to hear my table topic speech. But when you're older, you have less time, but you have more wisdom. The important aspect in this is to find a balance. And I think one of the biggest hurdles that we face is finding that balance, because the older we grow, it's not the more we want to settle down with or be happy with, like simple things like family and home and nature and the time we spend with friends, for instance. It's a constant battle with what more we want to achieve, to acquire, to retain, to grow. Bigger, I think that's a very balance we should find. Probably not the right one to preach. I don't think I found a particular balance as yet, as most of us may not have, and maybe some of the more wiser ones would, but definitely lots to learn. And thank you, and back to you, Karnakar.
Great. Thank you so much, Arun. Okay, moving on, we have a veteran Toastmaster, Sudipto, who's going to be the next speaker. Sudipto, your topic is, surround yourself with people who are as hungry as you are. Surround yourself with people who are as hungry as you, Sudipto, are. Put your hands up for him, please, everyone. It's so quiet right now. Lovely.
Hey, Karunakar. Hey, Karunakar. Thank you for the lovely topic. And I mean, think the only way we move forward in life is, when we are constantly learning. If you are in this, there's a new age term which has been coined. I'm sure everybody is quite familiar. Something called the growth mindset. And what is really the growth mindset is when you are never really satisfied with what you have done. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether today you have succeeded in the project or you would have failed. It doesn't really matter. What really matters is what is your attitude to what you did today? What is your attitude to the difficulty which you faced today? Or what is your attitude to the fact that, so many things, new things got birthed in the last 1 month and you have no clue about that, right? And the only way you do that is, keep learning, keep polishing your skills. But that doesn't really come on its own, right? That only comes when you keep yourself surrounded with all this people smarter than you. I think one comment which Dhirubhai made a long time back, right? He made sure that he had managers smarter than him, right? If I don't know whether that was possible or not, but I mean, the only way the lesson you can take from that is keep surrounded with really smart people and just follow their tips. Back to you, Karnataka.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Sudipto. Okay, the next topic goes to our past president, Toastmaster Ayyappa. Your topic is always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Toastmaster Ayyappa. Do we have you here? Okay, he has no enemies, by the way. Okay, so moving on. The next topic is for a Toastmaster, or rather, I guess I believe it is Sharika, if I have her on the meeting. My goal is to create a life I don't need a vacation from. My goal is to create a life I don't need a vacation from. Sharika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karunakar, for the topic. I think you hit a spot there with that topic, especially on a long weekend when I was on leave today. That's exactly the thought that I woke up to, that, oh my God, why am I not on a vacation right now? But I guess as a person who is in the process of adulting, I would say I am again in the process of figuring life out. To build a life where I don't really need to look forward to vacations, I would say that I would need to build a life where I am not necessarily seeking happiness through my environment. I think it's the happiness that I seek from within. So it's not necessary to do with, here's a heterodox opinion, which most people would not agree with. They think that if you pursue your hobby or if you pursue your passion, that's probably what's going to give you the most happiness, where you wouldn't really need to seek a vacation from. But I don't know, if you're like me, I would probably need a vacation from having to continuously do my hobby over and over again or follow my passion on a daily basis. So I would just say, do 3 things, which is one thing that brings you happiness, second thing which brings you money, because we all need it, third is basically like have a hobby or something, right? So I would say I would build a life where I could probably balance all 3 together and not necessarily wake up like the way I woke up today, looking forward to a vacation. Back to you, Toastmaster Karunakar.
Thank you, Sharika. Please take your vacation. It's all free, but please be a part of meetings on Fridays. So don't include that on your vacation list. Okay, the next topic goes to Ashwini. Ashwini, do we have you here? Okay, no response from Ashwini. So I'm giving this topic to a Toastmaster Guru. 1 year is equal to 365 opportunities. 1 year is equal to 365 opportunities. Toastmaster Guru.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
1 year is equal to 365 opportunities. I look at even every hour is an opportunity. Like now, every hour is an opportunity. Every minute is an opportunity. And like if you want to really want to explore, like life of full of opportunities. Either it could be in your career, or it could be in your passion, or it could be in your studies, it could be in your anything, hobbies, whatever, any kind of exploration. So life is full of opportunities. It changes, like the time to time, probably the years to years. Every day is an opportunity. Every day you can create a new opportunity, not in terms like only that value in terms of career, but you can also think about the society, where if you want to become a good social being, you can do many things which will be useful for society and for the community, rather for any other organization. So we need not restrict ourselves. So it's about opportunities are there. Only thing is we need to go and explore it. Thank you very much, and over to the tabletop master Karnakar.
Great, thank you, Guru. And now I have a topic for Toastmaster Melvin Smith. Melvin, are you ready and around? Do we have Melvin?
Yes, I'm there very much.
Melvin, a very spicy topic for you.
Oh
Variety is
my
the
God.
spice of life. Variety is the spice of life, Toastmaster Melvin Smith.
I completely agree with that topic.
Yay.
If we don't have variety, life would be so boring. The same thing repeating over and over and over again. Do something new, make new friends, travel new destinations, learn a new thing, get a new hobby, play an instrument, learn a language. That's what I call variety. Earlier, if you asked me what was variety, I meant having a different girlfriend would be a variety, and that would be spicing up my life. But I've gone past all that. I think variety is about doing different things, enjoying your life to the fullest. After all, we have only one life. And if we don't make the best of it, I can tell you at this stage of my life, I feel we don't have enough of time. And there's a lot of things I want to do in the little time that is left. So definitely variety is the spice of life. Go there, enjoy it, enjoy the variety. Back to you, Karnakar.
Thank you, Melvin. I wish you have more variety infused into your life. Okay, the next topic is the shortest topic I've got here, I think. It is going to Toastmaster Nanda Kumar. Nanda Kumar, do we have you here? Toastmaster Nanda Kumar. Toastmaster Suma. President
Yes,
has
sir.
given me a list of all.
Hello.
Okay, Suma, you around, right?
Can you repeat the topic?
Okay, Suma, your topic is rule number 1, never be number 2. Rule number 1, never be number 2.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the wonderful topic. Always I was the last bencher, and I used to think that how can I come to the front row? So this pandemic gave me a great opportunity to flourish my passion and come out with a lot of skills so that I can be on the front row rather than the last bench row. So I checked out with my self-discovery process and unraveled all the potential one by one and implemented in my day-to-day life. Everything started to change, and I could see my better version of myself every day improving day by day, so that it gave me confidence that So I'll be achieving soon the front row role, and as soon as possible, so that I can be completely fulfilled in my journey. Back to you, TM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suma. But I enjoyed being a last bencher. First venture came with a lot of responsibilities, which I always evaded from. Okay, I need to call up the last participant this evening. I need to have a volunteer who wants to come up and speak from the audience. Somebody.
I will volunteer.
I can't see you on the camera. But
Toastmaster Priyanka.
Priyanka. Priyanka. Okay. Let me think of a nice topic for you. Simple. Skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. Toastmaster Priyanka.
As the topic says, skills pays bill. Yes, skills are very, very important. Something that we all ignore a lot is we all are actually a very skilled person, but we never try to pay attention to our skills. And we try to go around and learn things thinking we are not a skilled person. So we are all born with certain skills. We just need to acknowledge and understand ourselves. And I can tell you this lockdown has been a great revelation for me to know myself better, to know the things that I really excel at, and the things that I thought that I excelled at, I actually need to work on. So to even grow in life in any genre, of let it be professional or in personal, you need to first understand your skills, work on your skills and grow, because there are a lot of opportunities kept around you. So we'll have to work. One of the most important thing is, fortunately, Toastmasters Club, where we all are here to learn our communication and presentation skills. Something that we all kind of fear, even though we all are good at it, there is some kind of fear within us that kind of hinders us to put the best skill of us. Communication has different styles. So we have a style, we have to present that skill. In terms of career, there are a lot of requirements. Now the technology in terms of artificial intelligence and a lot of other cloud are just growing. It is very important we get ourselves aware and acknowledge what is happening around and enhance our knowledge accordingly. So even we don't have to be a master of all, but we don't need to be a master of all, but being a jack of all also helps you in grow in your life, both personally and professionally. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Karnakar.
Great. Thank you so much, Priyanka. And okay, I'm loving the tempo here completely. And I have one more topic. And it is actually the hardest topic I feel for this evening. Let us see who is the daredevil who wants to come up and speak on this topic. Any volunteer I have from this prestigious BDMC for the last topic? Any volunteer? No matter if you're a role taker or not, if you want to be a part of it, please tell me who wants to go for it. Come on, I need somebody, or I'll ask the TM to pick a person randomly. She can nominate herself as well, but last person, I need somebody who wants to take up this role. Or okay, I'm calling Toastmaster Vaidyanathan for this. I know he's a role taker, but he had given me his name for table topic, but somebody backed out, so he actually took up evaluation as well. So Toastmaster Vaidya, are you ready? Toastmaster Vaidya. Okay, I have this last topic. I'm not gonna wind up without this. Tell me.
Give it to Chethana, yeah.
Chethana, you wanna take up this topic?
Yeah. Somebody volunteer.
I'll go in for it, Karnakar. Hannah.
Hannah, oh, okay, Hannah, I have a topic for you. Let me think which one suits the best here. Yeah. Never mistake motion for action. Never mistake motion for action. Toastmaster Hannah.
Okay. Thank you for that topic. I thought never mistake motion for progress. So I would maybe speak on that. I think every day, many a times, I think we are so, at least I I'm doing 100 activities, different activities. And then end of the day, I realize what progress have I actually made in whatever I wanted to do. They may not have been progress, but so many small things take up time and energy. So I think if one gets time, if I mean, if I really sit down and put my mind to it and say, what are the things which I need to focus on, and what needs to be delegated, or what needs to be what do you say, done away with, then maybe progress is much more rewarding than being like a headless chicken running around the whole day. So I would say that progress and action as in productive action is very, very important. So that's my take on it. Thank you very much, Karunakar, for that topic, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. What lovely set of speakers we have in table topics today. I request Toastmaster Srijit, please give them a big treat in the next physical meeting whenever we have. Please make note of every participant here. Okay, thank you so much. My role concluded today. Over to Toastmaster Nadhini.
Thank you so much for the thought-provoking topics, and also the speakers were applaudable. Let's hear it for the Toastmaster, Table Topics Master and the speakers. A round of applause. Please unmute, and because it's impromptu speaking, not prepared speakers. Thank you so much. Kindly vote for the best table topic speaker. The code remains the same. It is 1291, and the link has been shared in the group. Meanwhile, do you know when Pi Day is celebrated? Anybody can unmute and just speak. No one? When is Pi Day?
March 14th.
Yes. Can you tell me why?
3.14.
Why?
Yeah, 3.14, so 14th month.
And what is the relevance of that?
It is Einstein's birthday, and yeah. Yes.
Great. Can we give it a big round of applause for this Toastmaster? The value of Pi is being 3.14, and it consistently just goes on. Same way, Toastmasters meetings also never stop. And believe me, the decimals, that is 0.14 and 92, it just goes on. They never repeat. The way Toastmasters meetings also never repeat. Pandemic. Did we stop? No, we went online. Definitely Pi Day and Toastmasters meeting definitely create and are united. And we should be thankful to Albert Einstein. Now, just like as we have come to the end of the session, now I hand it over to the general evaluator, as the next session is evaluation section. With this team, general evaluator, the stage is yours. Breakfast for the champions.
Thank you, Ms. Nasreen. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters guests. I'm sure all of you agree with me that today we had one of the best meetings that we can remember. Everybody participated, everyone had prepared, and the response, only we had less number of participants. There were about 40, in between 40 or 41. Chethana, you started 6:15, announcing that the meeting will start in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and on the dot you started. Apart from that, you gave precise instructions and information. You were well prepared, you were confident, and smiled throughout. Hats off you too. Excellent Kirtana. Then we had Priyanka. she conducted the induction of three new members, Vijay Sai, Kunal Mehta, and Dev Bosle. One thing had happened, she asked Hannah to say yes or no. There was little confusion. I don't know what Hannah heard. She went on saying, yes, I do, yes, I do.
Sorry, sir. I didn't.
Yeah, go on.
No, I didn't get you. I'm sorry, I missed you. What did you say?
No, not I said, but you said. She wanted to answer you whether you had informed all the new members while induction about their mentors and all. But okay, all right. Then one more, Priyanka. You said, well, at the time of induction, put your hand forward, put your hand forward. I would have said, stretch your hand. I leave it to you to decide. But otherwise, your conduct of induction was excellent. Hats off to you.
Thank
Then
you.
Then our president, Mr. Srijit, he requested the associate secretary to present the minutes. The associate secretary also well prepared. Excellent voice, Vishal. But there was one error which listening, TM Nazneen, I would appreciate her. She listened properly, aptly, and corrected that error. Then President continued with the wheel, invention of the wheel, as one of the greatest inventions. Again, Mr. Srijit, as like this time, your voice was very clear, confident, perfect communication. And you compared the wheel with Toastmasters. Fellow members, I would like to narrate with you for the first time an incident that took place between Srijit and me when he was presenting his second or third speech. I don't know if he remembers it, but I clearly remember it. I think I was a evaluator for that speech. It may be the speech 1, 2, 3 going forward or going 1, 2, 3 going backward. That day, Mr. Srijit was scheduled to speak at the end, and there were 3 other speakers prior to him, and I was a little worried. I thought that if Srijit speaks at the end, the senior speakers having given the presentations, that may affect. And I requested to Srijit to speak at the beginning without telling him why I am insisting upon it. But I should say, Srijit stuck to his guns. He said, sir, whatever comes, I'll speak at the end. And he did it. And I was wrong that day. Yes, Srijit, from that day, what I observed you, I saw you nervous, but today it's entirely different. That day, I didn't imagine that one day you will be the president of this club. Hats off to you. Congratulations, Srijit. Then you introduced Toastmaster of the day, Miss Nazneen. Nazneen, you opened the meeting wishing, good evening, Toastmaster and guests. You didn't wait for the response from the members. We wanted to wish you back, but you straight away proceeded further without giving us a chance. Doesn't matter. As the messages have been going on our WhatsApp group, every moment we learn. Unless we commit such errors and mistakes, we don't learn. So when you wish, just give a pause. Let the audience respond to you. Then about Inventors Day, Apple, Newton, you brought a real Apple to the stage. And you touch the theme, to create is to unite. Nazneen, your pronunciation is clear and firm. Introduction of speakers apt, and naturally you were well prepared. One second, yeah. One more aspect I want to mention, and it's quite useful. Mr. Rajdeep is one of the evaluators, he'll come later, but all of us know that Rajdeep cannot read the guidelines or objectives of it, and Nazneen herself took the responsibility. It's a lesson, Nazneen, I also learned from you. Today I am improved. When this I may repeat for how we can help Rajdeep in these presentations. Now coming to the speakers, may I request the first evaluator of the evaluator of the first speaker, Mr. Saideepak, Mr. Richard D'Souza. Will you present your evaluation report of Saideepak?
General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guest, and speaker, Mr. TM Saideepak in particular. Saideepak, it was a great speech. I congratulate you. And you reveled at contrast. Contrast put the things in proper perspective. Yes, that chilling night, you were on the queue. You were anxiously waiting. And visa confirmed, you are excited. You selected 2 places to visit, Nepal and Thailand. Nepal appeared to you like Bihar, whereas Thailand was exclusive, calm, and clean. That walk on the seabed, where you could see the fish and also coral life, and that nightlife, which was with blaring music and dance. You observed that there were no plastic or beer bottle, but what was there was clean water. And the ending of your speech, fantasy coming to life, that once again is another contrast. These contrasts have been able to take you, all that audience, together. You had impressive vocal variety, sand grains touching your feet, sleeping to the sound of waves, and also waking up to the sound of waves, that astounding experience which really sustained the interest of the audience. And your body language too was very excellent. You delivered the speech by standing and straight away looking at the camera, so that all audience were able to be with you, and your gestures were purposeful, so that you were able to sustain the focus. Only suggestion which I could say might be nitpicking, if in such a beautiful journey, if you would have expressed how your beloved, which was your first journey soon after marriage, where she too complimented you for selecting such nice places, would have added spice to your speech. And we too were sailing with you in the shores of Thailand, but I felt the speech ended abruptly, and reason was you utilized 5.51 minutes. Still, you had 1 minute 9 seconds. If you had reduced the rate of the speeches, some words like Kanchanaburi, you would have been able to express better. Nevertheless, a great speech, and Toastmasters for such a scintillating speech. What we give to Toastmaster Saideepak. A big round of applause, please.
Thank you.
I request the evaluators to stick to the time allotted, which I fully agree with you, except the last suggestion that his wife, Saideepak's wife, did her comments and all. Imagine if she had asked him to take for the trip, one more trip, what would have been his situation? Saideepak, your confidence level, body language, communication were clear, perfect voice. Mr. Richard has narrated everything. I fully agree with him. Now coming to the third speaker, may I request Abhiram to join me on the dais.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Very good evening to all my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, and Toastmaster Prathik in particular. Toastmaster Prathik, congratulations on a fantastic speech. Your speech was so informative and inspiring at the same time. The first thing that I really loved about your speech was the selection of topic itself. because all of us could easily relate to the conflict between humans and wildlife. And the topic is relevant to each one of us. The second thing I loved about your speech was that it was extremely well organized. You grabbed the attention of the audience by sharing an unfortunate incident that occurred recently in Kerala. And then you shared some of your close encounters with elephants. You took us to the root cause of the conflict between elephants and human beings, that is the destruction of elephant corridors and forests. And you supported each and every point with facts and figures. And there comes the third thing that I loved about your speech. Well, now we all know why you are called Mr. Encyclopedia in your house, because your speech was loaded with lots of information and statistics with appropriate references. It was very, very well researched and rehearsed, Toastmaster Prathik. You ended your speech with a wonderful quote that carried the key message that you wanted all of us to drive home. It is coexistence or no existence. What a wonderful way to end such an amazing speech. If I were to nitpick a couple of areas of improvement, the first thing would be that you could try to use a few presentation tools like Prezi. Try to bring in those statistics and images on a couple of slides. An image can speak 1,000 words. And the second area was that though it was a fantastic speech and ticked all the boxes, I would suggest that you can use a little more voice modulation in your speech. I felt that the tone of the speech was the same throughout. And there were a few opportunities in your speech to add a little drama. In the very beginning, you narrated a heart-wrenching story of a pregnant elephant. Rather than just narrating what happened, you could have felt the emotions and said, recently, a pregnant elephant in Kerala was fed with a pineapple laced with explosives. The poor elephant was in such great pain that she died standing in a river. Now, this would have evoked the emotions of the audience even more, and the audience will become more receptive to what you would say next. Having said that, Toastmaster Prathik, the purpose of the project was to review basic research methods and present a well-organized speech and well-organized and well-researched speech, and you just nailed it. Congratulations, Toastmaster Prathik, and all the very best for your future speeches. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Abhiraham. Thank you, Mr. Prathik. Both are right. Both have done very well. I don't want to repeat what Abhiraham has said. Both, again to say, excellent. Now, moving on to the third speaker, may I request Dr. Rajdeep to present your evaluation report about the presentation of Chethana.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Fellow Toastmasters, General Evaluator, and Chethana in particular, today you took us through an unconventional journey to shun popular thinking and move towards books and audiobooks rather than social media. So I'm going to evaluate you with the same words, books, but since it is popular thinking to go forward, B-O-O-K-S, I'll go backwards, S-K-O-O-B. So let's go through this. The S was the sincerity in your speech. You were very sincere. You have actually started listening to audiobooks, and the sincerity of you to switch from social media to the books was very, very evident. This laced with simplicity, similes, triads made it brilliant. So that was your S. The second thing which was great about your speech was the K, the knowledge. You brought out wonderful facts like listening span increases. You talked about various books like Atomic Habits and other books which actually give us what we need from the world of books without actually going into WhatsApp University or any of those social media. So the knowledge sharing and the research which you had done was brilliant. The third thing was the O, your oratory. You are a seasoned Doordarshan presenter, and that showed. Even though the speech didn't have so much scope for oratory skills, you were going in a sing-song way, you moved yourself, you gave the pauses, and it was very, very pleasant to listen to you. Maybe not too much voice modulation, but the pleasantness of your voice stood out. These were the three things which are brilliant. Now, there are two things which I thought you could improve. One was the objective and the organization. Now, you talked about two things. One, move away from social media and go into books and audiobooks. Second was to shun popular thinking and think a little unpopular. Now, we were confused with both these objectives. Unpopular thinking is that if you don't drink, you will not have fun, but even then we can have fun. So you could have clarified your objective and organize your speech better. Today, I'm going to talk to you all about books, then audiobooks, and how beautiful they are. The second thing where you needed a little bit of improvement was balance between logic and emotion. You were persuading us to move towards audiobooks. There was a lot of logic, all the details which you gave us in the books, but where was the emotion? Do you know now my daughter hugs me and says, "Mummy, you're glowing so much because you are not going to social media, you're loving me." So to end, I'll just say a little word. Chethana, today you took us through a wonderful journey to read audiobooks. Just a little bit of organization or objective would have given it a different look. But otherwise, with your pleasantness and your sincerity, you kept us on the hook. Thank you so much, Chethana.
Thank you, Dr. Rajdeep. Excellent evaluation. And Chethana, very good presentation. And the last speaker, Ms. Preethi, may I request Mr. Vaidhanath for your evaluation report.
Thank you, Mr. G. My dear fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, and the speaker, Preethi Varghese, in particular, very good evening. The speaker today was attempting a project 2 from the level 1 of the Pathways Manual. And the objective of this particular project are twofolds. One is to share an experience as a protege. And number 2, to talk on how Toastmasters envision mentoring. So let us see the areas where she did really well. Number 1, to share an experience as a protege. She had a personal experience. She spoke about her own experience in which she was asked to reschedule the speech by her mentor because her mentor felt that she hasn't prepared well or adequately well. So in the whole bargain, she learned a very important lesson of being disciplined. So brilliantly done, full marks to you. You fulfill the objective number 1, which is to share an experience as a protege. And the second objective is to talk about how Toastmasters envision mentoring. In this particular objective, you had 2 wonderful points. One is mentoring is not about taking the blame. Mentoring is about providing the guide light. Brilliant. And second is mentoring is about showing the path, but it is the responsibility of the mentor to take the path by means of walking. 2 wonderful examples, 2 wonderful points that you have narrated, which encapsulates the crux of what Toastmasters talks about when it comes to mentoring. But are there any areas where you could have improved upon? I felt there are a couple of areas where you could have improved upon. One, when you're talking about how Toastmasters envision mentoring, it is not only about speeches, evaluations, and providing feedback. It is much more than that. So there is a larger area to play for a mentor. When I speak about mentor, it's the responsibility of a mentor to provide you opportunities to show you some insights about the various roles that you can take up in a committee. And also to provide you some inputs about the contests that can come in. Right? Since you are occupying a position in a current committee, you could have also spoken about how your mentor shaped you in getting into this particular position. Right? So that could have lent a lot of credence to your speech. And second, you spoke about an example of Abdul Kalam being a mentee and his mentor Satish Dhawan at the beginning. I think that was a force fit kind of. In this particular project, when you were supposed to speak only about an experience as a protege and also to speak about and envision how Toastmasters envision mentoring, I think that particular example came in as a bit more odd. Okay, I felt it like a force fit. Otherwise, I think you did complete justice to the objective, which is twofold. You shared an experience and you also spoke about how Toastmasters envision mentoring. So wish you all the very best for your future speeches, Preethi. All the very best to you. Thank you very much. Over to the G.
Thank you, Mr. Vaidya, for that evaluation. One aspect I want to add, so far Preethi is concerned, you had an occasion to use different voices, the first mentor, and VP Education shouting at you, you could have. It takes time to learn, and also one day we have to do it, voice modulation. Now moving on to the next part, table topics, Mr. Karunakar Dev. Yeah, you start explaining what's table topics. Terror triumphs. Congratulations, Karunakar. You were, as you said, terror triumphs, TT. You made, you even invited Vijay Sai, Kunal Mehta, Dev Bhonsle were joined only today to speak. Not only they participated, but every speaker who participated contributed well. They really took part, and hats off to you for selecting apt topics for them, for everyone, and making them to speak at the spur of the moment. Congratulations. Well conducted table topic session. May I now request time manager, Mr. Rajendra, for a report?
Yes, sir. So, in prepared speech segment, all the speakers were well within the time except Prathik Uthappa. He exceeded the time by 14 seconds. So, in table topics, all the table topic speakers were within the time. They didn't exceed 2 minutes, but all were within 2 minutes. So, except these four, they were within 1 minute 30 seconds. Lokesh, Melvin, Suma, Hanama. So the speakers who took less than 1 minute is Dev Bhonsle. Coming to evaluations, so only one evaluator was within the time, that is Rajdeep Manmani, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rajendra. May I request the next member of the tag team, the R counter, Mr. Jainam, for your report?
Yes, so I'll be mentioning only for people who have crossed the limit of 3. Like for each thing, they've crossed the limit of 3, because otherwise it takes too much time. So in the beginning, Toastmaster Alan had 3 R's. Then in the prepared speeches, there was no clutch words, no repeats, no pauses. It was almost very good. There were like few instances here and there where people used R's and Ums, but not many, not very high. Then Toastmaster Karunakar, they've used 5 R's. Toastmaster Sumitra Manmohan used 3 R's, 1 1 repeat. She repeated the word "and" many times, and she paused once. Toastmaster Kunal had 1 R and 2 pauses. Then after that, Toastmaster Sudipto had 3 R's and 5 and once he used "I mean." Then Toastmaster Richard D'Souza had 4 R's. So the remaining and the report, and I'll share it with the committee at the end.
Thank you, Mr. Jainam. Now it's the turn of Mr. Alan Arana in the capacity as grammarian.
Thank you to the GE. When it comes to good usage today of the English language, some of them are defined and derived, exquisite, fantasy comes to life, humor runs in his blood, bewildered, coexistence or no existence. Now, some of the language which could have been improved is one where speakers spoke about fishes, which could be fish, because fish is also plural. Guided me how to go about it could have been guided me on how to go about it. How my life is going to pan should have been how my life is going to pan out. Paying it should have been paying for it. Jack of all could have been jack of all trades. Those are some of the examples. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much. And the last member, Sanjana, in the capacity of listener.
So I've prepared a few questions to see if everyone were listening. So the first question, which 2 places did Toastmaster Saideepak visit in Thailand?
Pattaya and Krabi. Yes.
It's Pattaya and Kanchanpuri.
It is Phuket in Krabi, not Pattaya.
Okay, Pattaya, it's Pattaya.
So the second question, the first activity he did in Thailand.
We went at the beach side.
Walking street.
Sea walking. It's sea walking. So what is the population of elephants in India after the elephant census?
6,000 plus.
No, it's 27,000. Which year was Project Elephant launched?
2017?
No,
No, it's 1992. The next question, which elephant corridor connects the Eastern and the Western Ghats? It's a Singur corridor. Okay, who is the author of the book A Promised Land and Atomic Habits?
Barack Obama for
The Atomic Habits. It's James Clear. Who was the next question? Who was the mentor of Abdul Kalam who took blame for his failure?
James Dhawan.
Satish Dhawan.
Satish.
The last question. What was the new abbreviation given by Toastmaster Karunakar Dev for the table topics?
TT.
Terror triumph. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sanjana. Well done for the first time. This is the third time you take. Yeah, you are a big hand.
Thank you, sir.
She deserves it. Third time she is participating in a meeting. Now over to Madam Nazneen.
Thank you all for being a wonderful audience. Inventor Day is not just to pay respect and pay homage to the guests and the great that have passed away, but rather to be aware and to awaken to the greatness that each one of us has, and to realize that we all have the capability and capacity. We only have to have the courage to test it. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. President. Before I hand over the baton to Mr. President, kindly vote for the best poll takers. The voting is the same, remains the same, 1291. And I would like to take the opportunity on this platform. Yes, Abhay, you will be missed by Bangalore Toastmasters Club. All the best in whatever you do further. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nazneen. Dear members, please help me in appreciating Toastmaster Nazneen for conducting this meeting very well. Great job, Nazneen. Thank you so much for that. And my sincere thanks to our GE and Toastmaster Vaidyanathan for pitching in the last moment. And I feel like you people are our resource, because of which I think our club is standing very, very strong. Thank you so much for your effort. And my sincere thanks to all the speakers and all the evaluators and all role takers. Sure, without your effort, this meeting wouldn't have been such a successful one. Thank you so much. And next meeting we will be having offline. We all will meet in Ashirwad on 1st of October. And now I request any guest who just want to share your experiences.
Sharika is there. Is Sharika still there? I don't know if she's a guest. She spoke in the table topics.
Yeah, she's not there, I think.
Any guess? Yeah, Mr. President, you can continue. Our new members, Vijay Sai.
Yeah. Vijay Sai, how do you feel to become a member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club?
Really honored to be a member of Bangalore Toastmasters. I really enjoyed the day today. Thank you so much, and really loved the proceedings and understood the formalities of the whole thing. I'm still learning the ropes. Thank you very much.
Great.
Don't leave us again. Last time we did it after 10 years back.
No, I had attended only 2-3 programs. I had not joined yet. I was just a guest that time. Yes, sir. Thank you.
But
Thank
that's
you.
my mistake. I should have forced you to join.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. It's our pleasure to have you with us. And I wish a very successful journey of Toastmaster journey.
Thank you, President Sridhar.
Yeah. Now it's time for us to announce the winners of today's meeting. Best tackle player goes to Toastmaster Alan Arana, and best role taker goes to Toastmaster Nazneen, and best evaluator DTM Rajdeep Manwani, and best table topic speaker Toastmaster Melvin, and best role taker, best speaker Toastmaster Chethana. I request everyone to unmute yourself and give a loud round of applause to all of them. Thank you so much. I don't want to take one more minute because it is 8:30. We are maybe in years we didn't close a meeting at 8:30. Thank you so much. I adjourn this meeting. Thank you.